The old woman went straight to the baker's shop with the silver shilling. She was planning to pass it on to the baker, although she felt very guilty about it.
"A loaf of bread, please,"
said the old woman, and then she quickly pressed the shilling into the baker's hand in the hope that he wouldn't notice what it was. But the baker was no fool. He noticed what the coin was straight away and flung it back at the woman.
"Oh dear," thought the shilling. "She'll get no bread in exchange for me. I feel totally miserable about this."
But the old woman took pity on the shilling, and she handled him gently and kindly. After all, he'd just had a bit of a shock after being thrown across the baker's shop. She went home, and when she took the shilling out of her purse, she said,
"I won't be able to cheat anyone with you. I'll punch a hole in you so that everyone can see you are not a native of our country. Perhaps after all this, you might become a lucky shilling." So she punched a hole in his middle, threaded him onto a string, and gave him to a little girl who lived next door. "Here you are, my dear," she said. "You can wear this as a lucky shilling."
The little girl was thrilled with her new necklace. She'd never had a lucky charm before. She became so attached to it that she wouldn't even take it off when she went to bed. That night, the little girl slept with the coin close to her breast. Early the next morning, her mother held the coin between her fingers and cut the string that was tied round it.
"So, you think you're a lucky shilling, do you?"
said the girl's mother.
"Well, we'll soon see about that."
And when she snatched the silver shilling away, he trembled once again.
"I wonder what she's going to do with me,"
thought the shilling. But before he had time to think any more thoughts, the mother took him and left him to soak in a glass full of salts. She left him in the glass for several days until he turned green so that he would look like an old coin. After that, she took out a small piece of putty and filled in the hole in the shilling. Then she rubbed the shilling a bit and declared that she was going to use him to buy herself a lottery ticket.
"You're my lucky shilling now," she said.
"How uneasy I feel. I might be called a cheat and thrown out right in front of all the other coins,"
thought the shilling when he was taken out of her purse.
"Lottery tickets for sale."
But there were so many people buying lottery tickets, and the man behind the counter was so busy that he didn't even look twice at the shilling when it was handed over in exchange for the lottery ticket. The shilling didn't know whether anything was won with the ticket, but what did happen was that when the drawer was cleared out the next day, the shilling was laid on one side. The man in charge of selling the lottery tickets was very angry when he discovered that someone had tricked him.
"This is a bad shilling that's not to be trusted,"
he said, and he got rid of the coin as soon as he could. As the months went by, the shilling was passed on to many more people throughout the land. Sadly, most of his masters didn't trust him, and as soon as they had him in their hands, they wanted to get rid of him. Even the meanest of misers didn't want to hang on to him because the shilling was of no value whatsoever to him. One day, a traveller came to town, and he was given the shilling. He offered it in return for having his boots repaired. The coin was dismayed to hear once again the cry of,
"This money's no good."
"It was given to me as genuine,"
said the traveller, examining the coin carefully. Then he smiled. It was a big, beaming smile. No other person had been so pleased to see the shilling.
"My goodness," said the man. "This is a coin from my own country. How nice it is to see a good, honest shilling from home. But why did they punch a hole in the poor old thing? I tell you what, I'm going to save you up and take you home with me." To be called good and honest, and to be going home after all this time, made the shilling feel very happy indeed. He knew he was going to a place where everyone would recognize him, and where they would know he was honest and trustworthy. The kind gentleman made a real fuss of the shilling. He wrapped him up in a piece of tissue so that he didn't get mixed up with the other coins and get spent. The special shilling was only taken out on festive occasions when the gentleman came across fellow countrymen.
In fact, the little shilling became quite a conversation piece.
Well, look at that. Isn't that interesting?
Some years later, the gentleman returned home, taking the silver shilling with him. All his companions jingled with joy in the purse when they saw him, and even though he'd had a hole punched through him, they knew he was genuine.